Mark, before we look ahead to the weekend's game, a chance to reflect on the past 7 days and a first real opportunity for you to get on the training pitch with the team. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been great. I've been looking forward to that since I got into the club. It was difficult over the festive period for us to get the work in, so we had to be creative and get it in different ways. But last week, and in particular, where we could get on the training ground, spend some time together, work on our ideas and behaviours and things like that, and also that'll continue this week in the lead up to the Lincoln game. But it's it's been really beneficial and really pleasing to get the work into the players.
I know you won't want to reveal too many secrets, but what type of things have you been working on with them over the last few days, and what will you be doing with them this week in the lead up to the Lincoln match?
Well, what we've been trying to do is create the behaviours of how we want to play with the ball and against the ball. With the ball, you've got a talented bunch of players who play a certain way and have got a certain identity. So we've kind of been concentrating out of possession and against the ball, and what we do on the transitions and how we win the ball back and how we join in and how we kind of swarm around the ball and win it back. Because that's what we want to do. We want to have the ball more than the opposition. So again, the quicker we can win it back and regain control of the game, the better. So yeah, it's just been a case of working through those behaviours, explaining to the players what we want, and then trying to execute it on the pitch.
Obviously, coming off the back of a busy run of games, especially over Christmas, is it hard to resist the temptation to go all out and burn the players out? Because I suppose this period, as much as it has been an opportunity to work with them, it's also been a good opportunity to give them some rest and make sure they're fresh and ready to go ahead of another busy run of games coming up. Yeah,
well, I mean, we do that really well with the staff here. We work in that multidisciplinary way, and we look at every part of training is looked at from a physical point of view, technically and tactically as well, and obviously working with the medical staff as well to make sure everybody's all right. So yeah, although we were kind of, last week was a little bit of a deload week for them, we were able to get a certain amount of work in, and a certain amount of intensive work as well. So listen, we're always evaluating what the players are, where they're at from a physical point of view. We discuss that every day, pre and post training, to make sure that we come away from training sessions having gained our maximum intensity, but whilst doing that safely as well. Because I fully understand that at this stage of the season to try and get an adaptation in how we play is difficult and challenging, so we have to do that in a safe way, and I think we've achieved that so far, but we need to continue looking at that to ensure that we, like I said, can get the work in, but we do it without any casualties along the way.
I suppose you've talked a lot about wanting intensity out of position from your players, a physical output, high energy, and I suppose as much as it has been a deload week and a chance to do that, has also been an opportunity to get that work into them and try and get up to speed with the way you want to play.
Yeah, we've done that, and we've been really pleased with the games over the festive period as regards to the physical output of the players, and then looking at that into the training week last week, we achieved what we wanted to achieve. And we were working with the physical staff there, so yeah, we kind of ticked all the boxes. And from me as a coach, head coach's point of view, from a tactical and technical point of view, and kind of those behaviours what I spoke about, we ticked a lot of those boxes as well.
And from a personality point of view, a character point of view, have you seen what you wanted from the players over the last couple of days, and are you excited for the opportunity as well that have had a full week with no midweek game to work with them this week as well? I've
got to say the players have been fantastic. Every single one of them have shown a great focus and desire to work to what we want, to implement those ideas, to learn, and like I said, go on the pitch and action them straight away. Yes, there's been mistakes, but that's how there'll always be. But they show a great attitude and a desire to learn, and that's all I can ask. And I look forward to getting on the training pitch every day. We've just trained today on Monday morning after the kind of guys had a weekend off as well, and the intensity was right up there. So that trust from me to the players that they look after themselves away from the club is important, and they've proved they can do that because they come and brought the intensity on during the session on Monday morning, which was good.
That's going to be important, isn't it, with the position we're in and what we're trying to achieve in the second half of this season, to get out of the position we're in. That personality, that fight, that intensity, the hunger, that's what you're going to need from the boys. That's the intangible stuff that you can't necessarily pick and choose. You need to get out of them, and obviously they're showing you that, which is a positive sign.
It's part and parcel of football. If you don't have that, you can be the best players in the world, but if you don't have that great determination, that desire to outwork the opponents, then you're not going to get far, even with the ability. you have as a player. So we have to combine the two. We have to know that we have to show our quality with the ball, but again, against the ball we need to be really, really aggressive and win the ball back and press in a way which puts pressure on the opponent. So that's what we're trying to get across to the players, and like I said, they're really, really buying into it, and we're seeing some great examples on a daily basis on the training ground.
I know during this period you've been working with the staff we've got here, JB as well, who stepped up from the academy to help you out as well. And I suppose the follow-up question to that is, what's the latest in terms of bringing in more guys to the backroom team, which I know is something you want to do?
Well, I said, yeah, the staff have been great. First and foremost, I've said that along the way, and special shout out goes to JB as well from the under-18s, who has combined his role with the under-18s while supporting me as well on a daily basis. So I thank him every day, but I'll continue to do that because he's been a fantastic help. And he's learning as well, and that's a relationship I want to grow stronger as we move forward as well, so we can share ideas and filter ideas, and we're not two separate teams. We kind of interact with each other and get clear alignment. Yeah, I'm working hard at the minute on bringing in my assistant head coach. Even when I was back in Leeds, I was meeting people and speaking to people, so that's ongoing behind the scenes. Myself and Liam and the club and the chairman are working really, really hard to make that happen. But again, like we said about the signings and everything like that, it needs to be the right person who comes in, because it's such an integral part of the team off the field that we need to put together.
You brought up signings, so I'll go on to that. Obviously, early January, starting to get into the transfer window. You've talked about wanting to recruit to the team as long as they're the right player. What's the latest update in terms of signings, and when can fans maybe expect to see new faces arrive here?
Well, I've always said, and I said after the Plymouth game, that I'm fully focused on working with this group of players here, because they've shown me so far that they're hungry, they have desire, and they have quality as well. So we're working really, really hard with that group of players. Of course, there's scope to bring the right players in, and I think the club have identified a certain number of those players, and kind of coupled with me coming in and kind of giving my ideas on the kind of profile of the players we want. That's kind of identified a certain type of player that we want. But like I said, we're not just going to go out and get players for the sake of it. We feel that if players come in, they have to enhance the squad we have. So there's work going on behind the scenes every day, all day, to try and get those right deals for the team and the club over the line. But like I said, I'm really, really happy with the players we have here at the minute, and they're giving everything and really, really fighting to get in that starting 11 on a Saturday, and that's the kind of culture we want. Is that everybody every day is wanting to get that shirt on a Saturday. Everybody's fighting and giving everything to try and catch my eye to break into that starting 11, and once they're in that starting 11, then fighting every day to stay in it. And that's the kind of culture we want, and if you get that kind of culture, then it can only be a good thing.
As you alluded to there, I think maybe there's a perception that a temptation maybe just to sign players because you feel like you need to add to the squad and you need to bring people in, but I suppose while you've got confidence in the players that we've got here, and we're still in on some of our top targets, it's important we don't rush, and we make sure we get the right person, even if it does take a little bit longer than we'd like. Yeah,
I think everything takes time to do things right, and Liam behind the scenes is working really, really hard to do that, and I've got full trust in him to kind of pull that off and do it correctly. But yeah, you're exactly right there that you need the correct players and the right fit for players for this club, and I have to stress that anybody comes in must enhance the squad, not just become a squad player, but they must enhance the squad. So without putting a time limit on it, which is hard to do in these situations, all I can say to the fans out there is that yeah, we're working hard behind the scenes, and hopefully if them targets become available and we can get them over the line, then hopefully they could potentially see some soon.
Fantastic, and you touched on the fans there. I know you've been engaged with some of them on social media and updating them over these last couple of weeks in terms of the work you're doing. we say it in a lot of these interviews, but how crucial are they going to be, especially here at Stadium MK, especially on Saturday and the games we got coming up here at home? How important are they going to be to making a difference this season?
Yeah, I always said that the fans are really, really important at any football club, and you know, I always try my best to engage with them, and sometimes that's on social media. I think that's a platform these days which is massive. Some coaches and head coaches or people engage and some don't. You know, I made a decision a long time ago to be a kind of a coach who will engage from that respect, and I try and do that with all the fans. There's obviously so much I can only say on social media and things like that, but I always try and give an update to how we're feeling and how we've trained, and you know, I try and respond where possible to supporters. But you know, I read everything I get, but you know, some things I can't respond to for obvious reasons. But yeah, I engage in that. I think it's important. I've learned over time how to do that sensibly as well, because you know, it can be a great platform for communication, but it can also be a minefield for professional people as well sometimes. But I think if it's done correctly and things like that, and yeah, listen, I like it. I like to engage with the fans over that kind of platform, but also, you know, in and around the community as well. And you know, I'll be really excited to see the fans here back at the Stadium NK on Saturday, and hopefully they can get behind the team.
And that engagement is something that this club's been built on, really, having that connection between the fans and the players. And I think when we've had our most successful periods, it's been where there's a real chemistry between the supporters and the players, and they feel like they know each other and they feel like each other are kind of working for one another. So yeah, as much as it might be a tweet or it might just be, you know, saying hello to fans at a game, it can be really important, isn't it? And I know that's something you're kind of drive not only with you but with the players moving forward during your time here to make sure that stays connected.
Yeah, like I said, it's really, really important to me. It's been important to me at the clubs I've been at throughout my career. I think that engagement with the fans is vital. The fans are everything for a football club. Players come and go, managers come and go, staff come and go, but the fans are kind of always there at the club. So we need their support, and the least we can do is engage with them and give them that interaction. And I think it's vital, and you know, the staff are like that, and the players are really, really good as well. So anything we can do to support that, then I'll be fully behind that.
And obviously, as you touched on, they'll be here on Saturday to get behind the team, and you know, a chance. We've got some big home games coming up, 3 I think in the month, 3 out of 4 games, next 4 games here at Stadium MK. It's a cliche in football, but you know, if you can make your home place a fortress, and it's not necessarily been the case this season, but if we can make this place a fortress, it can make a real difference for us, can't it?
Yeah, and we started against Forest Green getting the win. It wasn't the ideal performance, but we got the 3 points, which was important on that day. And hopefully we can kind of build that kind of mentality going forward. I had a chat with all the staff and the players, and I've kind of said, listen, what we've got to do now in this new year is kind of stop with the mindset of this has been the story of our season and we've not really done well. That's all in the past, and we've got to set our own kind of vision now for the second part of the season, and have that mindset to go, listen, when teams come here, they're going to expect a really, really tough game. And they need to be ready for that, and if they're not up for it, we'll be ready to capitalise, and if they are up for it, then we'll have the capabilities to then do what's needed to win that game.